Good morning and a very warm welcome. You're watching Janata Television and this is the English Bulletin with me, Sushant Takal. The top stories first. NC leader Sherbadu Deuba calls for three-party meeting, seeks opinion from the leaders about formation of a new government. 4 Maoist MPs who defected to UML lose their posts, face the prospect of losing their ministerial portfolios. Coronavirus infection rising across the country. Government reports 332 new cases. US intelligence report says global conflict likely to grow, points to climate change and rich-poor gap as the main cause. And Manchester United inches closer to Europa League semis. Arsenal's chances hang on the balance. And now the news in detail. Nepali Congress President Sherbadu Deuba has called for a meeting of three parties. Deuba has summoned leaders of NC, NCP Maoist Centre and Janata Samajwadi Party for talks at 3 p.m. today afternoon. It has been learned that Deuba will seek the opinions of the two parties regarding formation of a new government under his leadership. The NC president is under pressure from Maoist Centre and his own party to seek an alternative to Prime Minister KP Oli. Although Maoist Centre is positive about Nepali Congress leading the new government, leaders of Janata Samajwadi Party are still divided over the issue. Janata Samajwadi Party leaders Dr. Baburam Bhattarai and Upendra Yadav are against PM Oli, while the faction led by Mahanta Thakur is in talks with the Prime Minister. Thakur's faction is bargaining with the government for the release of jailed leader Resam Chaudhary and other arrested leaders. Thakur is also holding discussions with the government regarding the issue of constitution amendment. 4 lawmakers who left the CPN Maoist Centre and joined the CPN UML have been relieved of their duties. In a meeting of the House of Representatives on Thursday, House Speaker Agni Prasad Sapkota read out a letter sent by the CPN Maoist to the House of Representatives, which read about the action taken against the 4 MPs. CPN Maoist Centre's parliamentary party leader Pushpa Kamal Dahal had sent a letter to the Parliament Secretariat on Monday informing that Top Bahadur Raimaji of Argakhachi, Lekhraj Bhatta of Kailali, Prabhu Shah of Rautahar and Gauri Shankar Chaudhary of Kailali had left the party. According to the Political Parties Act 2073, MPs who resign from their parent party are relieved of their posts automatically. All 4 MPs are also ministers. The ministerial position automatically becomes vacant after they lose their position as House MPs. The government has decided to launch Vitamin A drive on April 19th and 20th. During the campaign, children less than 59 months and 1.5 years will be administered Vitamin A capsule and deworming capsule. Likewise, the children between the age of 6 to 23 months will be given Balvita. The Ministry of Health and Population has asked the concerned bodies to follow the standard health protocols during the campaign. Considering the risk of COVID-19 infection, the ministry has urged health workers to administer Vitamin A capsules to not more than 10 children within an hour. The ministry has also directed the concerned authorities to ensure that there is no overcrowding at the centers from where the capsules will be distributed. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The government yesterday confirmed 332 new cases of coronavirus across the country. Following the latest round of tests, the total cases of coronavirus in the country have climbed to 279,100, while the number of active cases has increased to 2,454. The number of active cases was 2,201 a day ago. According to the Ministry of Health and Population, altogether 273,608 infected persons have recovered from the disease in the country so far. The death toll from coronavirus remains constant at 3,038 as no new fatalities were reported yesterday. Nepal is currently among the top 53 countries that have been most affected by the pandemic. The USA tops the list with over 31.71 million confirmed cases, followed by Brazil with over 13.28 million cases. Coronavirus has infected more than 134.5 million people across the world and claimed 2.91 million lives. And now the news from the economic front. The Inland Revenue Department has urged the taxpayers to reconcile their accounts as early as possible. Entrepreneurs who had paid under the mark in the first installment have been asked to reconcile their accounts so that the amount reaches 70% in their second installment. According to the law, the first installment of income tax is supposed to be paid in mid-January. This month, large companies have paid far less. Citing reason of pandemic, most large taxpayers have paid less than 50% of what they registered last year this term. Therefore, the Revenue Department has urged these companies to pay up to 70% of their total settlement. The deadline has since been extended to the end of the Nepali month of Chaitra to allow everyone to pay their second installment. The department has also warned that anyone unable to file taxes on time will be enforced hefty fines on their tax dues. And now the international news. Disease, the rich-poor gap, climate change and conflicts within and among nations will pose greater challenges in coming decades, states a U.S. intelligence report. According to Reuters, the report released yesterday says COVID-19 pandemic has already worsened some of those problems. The rivalry between China and a US-led coalition of Western nations will likely intensify, fueled by military power shifts, demographics, technology, and hardening divisions over governance model, says the report. According to Reuters, the report titled Global Trends 2040, A More Contested World, has produced by the U.S. National Intelligence Council. Regional powers and non-state actors may exert greater influence, with the likely result a more conflict-prone and volatile geopolitical environment and weakened international cooperation, it said. The report by top U.S. intelligence analysts, which is produced every 4 years, assessed the political, economic, societal and other trends that likely will shape the national security environment in the next 20 years. You're watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Manchester United took a big step towards the Europa League semi-finals with an away win over Granada in the first leg of their last 8 tie. Marcus Rashford put United ahead when he superbly collected Victor Lindelof's long pass and slid a finish past home goalkeeper Rui Silva. Yangel Herrera, on loan from Manchester City, hit the outside of the post for the Spanish side, and ex-Tottenham striker Roberto Soldado also fired wide. United doubled their lead late on when Bruno Fernandes squeezed a penalty past Silva after Jan Bryce fouled the Portuguese midfielder. The second leg is at Old Trafford in a week's time, with the aggregate winners advancing to a semi-final against either Ajax or Roma, with the Italian side leading that tie 2-1 after the first leg in the Netherlands. In other matches, Slavia Prague scored a dramatic stoppage time equalizer to leave Arsenal's Europa League ambitions hanging in balance. Substitute Nicolas Pepe thought he had earned the Gunners a slender quarter-final first-leg advantage when he broke the deadlock in the 86th minute, but Thomas Hulls headed home in the dying moments of the game from close range to give Slavia Prague a precious away goal. The second leg in Prague takes place next Thursday. We're at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. NC leader Sherbahadur Deuba calls for three-party meeting, seeks opinion from the leaders about formation of a new government. 4 Maoist MPs who defected to UML lose their posts. face the prospect of losing their ministerial portfolios. Coronavirus infection rising across the country. Government reports 332 new cases. US intelligence report says global conflict likely to grow, points to climate change and rich-poor gap as the main cause. And Manchester United inches closer to Europa League semis. Arsenal's chances hang on the balance. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.